A man accidentally dropped his valuable watch into the deep sea. While diving to search for it, he unexpectedly found a mysterious stone. Using his years of treasure hunting experience, he believed it was an ancient marker, suggesting a treasure-filled shipwreck might be nearby. Paul happily told his girlfriend Sika about this discovery. Soon, the group returned to the area with cleaning tools. A shark, curious about a mob, snatched it away. But this didn't stop their search. They dug up many old bottles, but they were just junk. The shipwreck remained hidden. Determined, Paul dived again. He noticed disturbed sand and, after digging, found a golden knife with gems. This discovery convinced him that a significant treasure was nearby. Excited about the potential riches, they bought simple detection gear from the market and returned to search carefully. They marked out an area with ropes and used a metal detector. Soon, the detector reacted. Paul had his companions clear the sand away. An arm-thick iron chain appeared, and an ancient cannon was dug up. Thrilled, they tied ropes to the cannon. Using lift bags filled with air, they slowly raised the cannon. Just as they neared the surface, police sirens were heard. It was a routine patrol boat. The divers realized if they surfaced now, their find would be confiscated, because treasures found underwater must have their origin declared, or it's considered illegal salvage. They knew nothing about the shipwreck yet. Paul decided to release some air from the bags to slow their ascent. However, his teammate Jack accidentally emptied one bag completely. The heavy cannon started sinking rapidly, trapping Jack's arm with the rope and pulling him down. Jack's arm was pinned under the cannon, and his oxygen tank was nearly empty. The group had to share the remaining air. Paul tried desperately to move the heavy cannon but couldn't. He used the last bit of air to inflate the lift bag again, removed his gear, and with his last breath, managed to lift the cannon slightly. Jack quickly pulled his hand free, and they rushed back to their boat. The patrol boat was still there, but the leader, Duffy, was Sika's classmate. After a brief questioning, Duffy left with his team. Finding the cannon strengthened Paul's belief that the shipwreck was close. The next day, he expanded the search area. A shiny object caught his eye, leading him to find more metal pieces nearby. Following the trail, he discovered a huge airplane. Shocked, Paul surfaced to tell his friends. They dived down again. The plane's windshield was broken. Inside, they found it was filled with tons of powder. This unexpected find left them unsure what to do. Jack and his girlfriend Laxi suggested selling the powder secretly for a fortune. Paul, though tempted, refused to break the law, especially since they were close to finding the shipwreck. A recent storm had cleared the seabed sand, revealing treasures buried for centuries. After cleaning, they found a harmonica and a flintlock pistol with Latin markings. The matching powder keg had markings indicating the nearby area. Research revealed the gun belonged to a pirate captain from over 100 years ago, whose ship, the West Wind, sank in this area with vast treasures. However, their simple equipment wasn't enough to salvage the shipwreck. That night, Jack and Laxi secretly took their boat out, dived to the plane, and took some bags of powder. The next day, they found the biggest local drug dealer. Unknown to them, the powder belonged to this dealer. Jack and Laxi were taken hostage. The dealer demanded Paul recover all 800 kilograms of powder from the plane within 12 hours, or Jack and Laxi would be harmed. Paul explained he only had basic diving gear. The dealer gave him $30,000 to buy better equipment. With the money, they rented a large salvage boat. Sika objected when she heard Paul was working for a drug dealer, preferring poverty over breaking the law. But Paul felt they had no choice and proceeded with the plan. When they reached the location with the salvage boat, its powerful cleaning equipment blew away the seabed sand, revealing an ancient wooden shipwreck, the West Wind. The ship's bell confirmed its identity. They now had proof of ownership. They decided to quickly recover the dealer's powder first, then focus on the valuable and legal treasure in the West Wind. As Paul prepared to lift the powder, sharks were attracted by their lights. He heard Jack scream and jumped in to help. Laxi had been bitten badly on the leg. Although rushed to the hospital, she didn't survive. Sika went to comfort Paul. On their way home, the drug dealers confronted them. demanding the powder. They tried to escape by car, but the dealers pursued them. Paul got out to stall them, offering the treasures they had found, hoping to buy time. As the dealers returned to the dock happily, they were suddenly shot. Paul rushed to the scene and saw Shang Biao, a man from their village, emerge. He was the real mastermind, pretending to fight crime while secretly smuggling drugs. Knowing he couldn't win a fight, Paul dived into the sea. Shang Biao stopped his men from shooting, needing Paul alive to find the powder's location. Meanwhile, Sika contacted her classmate Dafei, the patrol leader, revealing everything about the drugs. But Dafei had been bought by the dealers and handed Sika over to Shang Biao. Shang Biao called Paul, threatening Sika if the powder wasn't delivered. Dafei, trying to protect Sika, was shot by Shang Biao. Paul, having no choice, planned with Jack to lure Shang Biao and his men to the sunken plain and eliminate them there. At the designated spot, they found powder floating on the surface. Paul told Shang Biao he wouldn't get the rest unless Sika was released, then dived into the water. Shang Biao and his men geared up and followed, leaving one man, Xiao Tala, to guard Sika. Sika managed to attack Xiao Tala with a pen. As she tried to use the radio, Xiao Tala broke into the room. He grabbed a weapon, but Sika managed to overpower him on deck. His bleeding hand attracted a large shark, and Sika pushed him into the water, where he became shark food. Underwater, Shang Biao's men found the plane. Jack, ambushing them, fought one off. Paul incapacitated another. When Shang Biao arrived, the brothers hid. Shang Biao found them and shot at them as they escaped through a window. Another henchman outside shot Jack, who shielded Paul. Paul made a makeshift slingshot and shot the henchman in the face. He checked Jack's wound, it wasn't serious, and told him to surface. As Paul went back into the plane for oxygen, Shang Biao appeared with a knife. Paul pulled Shang Biao's oxygen hose, pushed him back, and went for an oxygen tank. Shang Biao started assembling a spear gun. Paul aimed the oxygen tank towards the plane. A massive explosion followed, destroying Shang Biao and the powder. Weeks later, they tried again to lift the ancient cannon. It was too heavy, strained the crane, and fell back into the water. Unknowingly, the heavy cannon landed right on the West Wind shipwreck's remains. In the hole it created, thousands of gold bars were waiting to be discovered.